Hello everyone, in this video we are going to be working on the stock property. So to get started with, let's just get a card property added in like this, and then we want to create a function called increment and a function called decrement as well. So let's add on those two functions. Those functions are going to be used later on to basically increment and decrement stock. Alright, so let's add the click functionality into these as a decrement and also increment. And with that done, let's head back into our stock model. In here, let's create a public function, which is then called decrement stock, and a public function called increment stock. All right, with that done, we want to head in here and we want to essentially say if this quantity is below quantity, we want to return false. We want to pass through quantity as an integer. And just put a comment in noting not enough stock. And then we just want to say this decrement on the model. We then specify which column we want to pass in, which is in this case quantity. And we then put in the value we retrieve, which is quantity. And then inside increment stock, we just say this increment quantity. And again, we pass in the quantity variable. And again, we specify this as the in because the quantity can only be an integer in this case. And with that done, we're now able to essentially return this value. We just return true in the case here and make it a boolean as return type. For this one, it's just going to be a void because we can always increment stock. And then inside the product model, we will just create a stock function which has a one-to-one relationship. And then inside card manager, if you look at the code here, this is something I just had pre-written. We just check if product exists, then we will decrease the quantity because we have added something into a basket. This is in the add function. And that's all for this video. So in terms of increasing and decreasing stock, now it's about testing it. So first and foremost, we have 1000 there. Let's see what happens. And we get an error. So if we head into item product, you will notice that the error is because we're calling it on the not on the property, and also the function name is decrease stock. So we probably want to go ahead and rename that to decrement stock, or rename the function itself. In this case, you could either go with decrease stock or decrement stock, but I'm gonna stay with the name we already have. And I'm just gonna rename this function, refresh it, click add. We have 999 items now, which is perfect. That's what we want. This won't work if we are doing it more than once, so we actually need to go back in because it will only work on when you're adding a new item, not when you're updating the quantity in the basket. So you can see in here, we just use the function add, and then inside the card model here, in the item, you just want to copy this code and pass it in to make sure that it gets called. So if we paste this code in now, maybe add some spacing so it looks a bit nicer. You would then see if we go ahead and remove it, change this back up to 1000, go back, click add, let's try again, and we have 998 then, which is perfect. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.